Hey guys, it's Katie. I'm going to film my April garden tour. I have a different mic set up. I've not been happy with the audio on all of my videos for a long time, so this is kind of the first time I'm using this mic in this way. So anyway, hopefully it turns out okay. It was really windy yesterday, so I couldn't do this. Today it seems to be less windy, and I've waited till it warms up because the bees are active and I want to show you those. Anyway, this is a dead stick. It's not dead, but it's not alive yet. This is a fig. I laid down some mulch. We got took advantage of the mulch sale at, I guess, Home Depot and Lowe's both had them. So I mulched. I've been doing mulching, but it's a lot of work to do. So I put some pansies in here. I think we did long beans here last year. I think this year we might do some long beans, but I also got loofah seeds that I'm starting. I'm really excited to grow loofah. I've wanted to grow loofah for a long time. I've actually gotten the seeds twice before, and I couldn't get them to grow. One was self-saved seeds from somebody, and another one I got in a trade. So they were both, I don't know. I bought seeds this time, so hopefully they do better. All this green you see is like seeds from the trees, but I've pulled all the weeds out, so hopefully these seeds don't sprout. Here's my red rhubarb. I'm so excited and happy that it came back. I thought it was done. This is a hop that my husband potted up. I don't exactly know if he's giving this to somebody or what. You can see I have more mulching to do in this bed, but this part looks nice. Come down here. So this is my daughter's bed. She planted some flower seeds, but then she just digs in here, so things don't do well. I put some more pansies here too. This is the Easter lily. It's grown quite a bit. I see it looks like another carrot there. This carrot's probably going to go to seed. And then there's some seedlings here, and they're in clusters, so these are either a weed seed head that's dropped here, or it might be ground cherries, because she had a ground cherry that dropped a lot of fruit. And then there's still these 2 onions here. I did put some radish in here, but that was just a couple days ago, so it hasn't come up. In this bed, it looks like somebody's been digging right there. These onions are older. I put radish in here. I put some radish here. I've been planting radish at like every 3 or 4 days, so we're gonna have a lot of radish, but I love radish. Here's spinach coming up. I planted the spinach seeds, and then I got a load of compost, and I really needed to amend the soil. I planted seeds before I thought to amend the soil, and then I got some compost, and so I kind of dug them up. So I was like, whatever comes up, I'll be happy with, and it's come up pretty well. So this is kind of like all turned. So there's some seeds that are way deep in there, and they might be coming up next year, or they might just rot. These radishes here, I think these are the ones that are supposed to be 18 days, and they came up pretty quick, and they're getting big already. So you can see they've already got a lot of the true leaves, nice and big. I think I planted these are one of the first ones I planted, so the very end of March, so it's been 2 weeks, and they look this big. So I don't know if they're exactly 18 days, but it's kind of confusing how they determine days to maturity, because I think it's based on after they germinate until they're ready to harvest, but I'm not exactly sure if that's true. This I think is some kind of kale. I can't remember what kind of kale I put out here, but I put it all through here. You can see it's coming up, and then I also put more radish in between the onions all the way around. Here's my lettuce. It's looking good. This one and this one were from what I planted in the fall, but the rest has come up. This is all black-seeded Simpson that you can see, and then I also sprinkled some of that rose garnet, I think it was called, over here, but I don't think, well, maybe this little one might be that, or these might be weeds. But I did just recently sprinkle, maybe 4 or 5 days ago, and then I planted some radishes in amongst these onions. I planted Swiss chard in my indoor seed starting pots. Nothing came up. I planted a couple places out here. Nothing has come up. I do have older seeds for Swiss chard because I tend to buy multiple packs. So I didn't buy any last year because I had some, and I didn't buy any this year, but I think I'm gonna have to buy a new pack of Swiss chard seeds because it doesn't look like anything's coming up. I did see one little, this is probably a Swiss chard, but yeah, I don't see anything else coming up. This is an overwintered one. It's probably gonna bolt. I found actually over there an overwintered kale, and I was so excited about it. It looked awesome, and then it's like bolting. So I'm actually gonna let it go to seed and let it throw its own seed. I got cilantro. These ones I think were from before. And then I planted some more seeds. There's also scattered seeds, so actually I'll come over closer. It's really not windy at all today, so that's great. Hopefully you can hear me, and I think it's good for the bees because it was so windy the other day and colder that the bees don't like to come out. But anyway, here's some cilantro, quite a few little seedlings, and then like I said, I had some older seed, and also these plants went to seed last year and threw some seed, and it looks like this is getting ready to bolt, but honestly I want to eat this. I'm going to plan my meal plan around this cilantro sometime in the next few days. And then here's some more radishes. I promised myself I'd be more organized this year, and I just wasn't, so I don't know what kind of radishes these are. The only ones I know for sure are those ones over there. But anyway, you can see my shadow. See what's over here. I planted sugar snap peas. I had one that survived. I planted these in the fall, nothing happened. I have really bad luck. I can plant so early in the spring that I just don't have the timing right for fall, or maybe my seasons are just not right for fall planting, but fall things just don't do well for me. But I planted sugar snap peas, and then this one came up and survived, and then I think something pulled it out, like a crow or a squirrel or something. So anyway, I just replanted here. I did 3 rows. I very rarely plant things in straight rows, but I figured this way they're kind of in tiers to go up to this trellis, which I actually need to restring. This is older cord, and some of them have snapped. And actually this piece of bamboo, it's not even attached over there. But anyway, for some reason this one has come up yellow. I thought maybe it was covered and it was just blanched, but it's been in the sun for at least 2 days now, and it hasn't greened up and it hasn't died. So I don't know if that's some kind of variation or mutation or something. I'd be curious to see if it stays yellow the whole time and see what kind of fruit it gives, but the rest of them are looking good. I actually see back there a little tendril. I'll show you when I go around to the other side. I haven't put too much in this bed. This is an overwintered Swiss chard. This one, the leaves are looking a lot more like Swiss chard than the other overwintered one. So I might pull these off and put them in my salad and then take this out. This is the bed I'm going to do purple. I probably shouldn't have put these sugar snap peas here because I do have another place where I can do climbing things for now. Before, this was my only trellis for climbing things, but I figured since they're cooler weather crop, they would be in and out before I do the purple bed experiment. But I did put some purple, the scarlet kale, which is that purple kale, and it's come up. It did not do well under the lights inside. I don't think very much of, maybe 1 out of 6 pots have germinated. But there's a lot coming up here. Whenever possible, I direct sow. Things just do so much better. You would think under a controlled environment inside your house where you can manipulate all the variables would do better, but no, Mother Nature has it down. She can do such a better job. It's hard for me to see in the viewfinder. Hopefully you're seeing what I'm seeing, especially these dark ones. All right, let's go. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've put in this bed. But I do have the purple basil started. And see, here's some more. Did I do 4 rows? 4 rows of these sugar snap peas? I think I did 3 and came back the next day or a couple days later and did another row. Let's see. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you the tendrils. It's already starting to send out tendrils, so that's cool. All right, turn around to this next bed. This this whole back half is all beets. I did beets here last year and they did really well. I just kind of scatter them pretty thickly because I can, when I do the thinnings, I can always use the greens in salads and juices and smoothies. This I think is a marigold, but the rest of these, especially you can tell the ones that have the red stems, this one also has a red stem, but I'm pretty sure this is marigold, but these smaller ones are beets. Beets, 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 beets. And then here, I think I put some more Swiss chard. And like I said, nothing of the Swiss chard is coming up. This is probably also marigold. We got marigolds like crazy last year, and I've thrown seeds everywhere, which is fine. I can handle marigolds. I can always transplant them if they're in a place I don't like them. I put some radishes here. There's just a small area where these onions are. So onions and radishes go well together because when you pull up a radish, you can disturb the roots around something else, but I'll probably also pull up these onions, or usually I just use the greens from the onions and then ignore the onions until they come back again, like these ones have. Okay, I think over here is also in the shadow, you probably can't see. Here, marigolds. And I think I put something here, but I don't remember what. maybe more Swiss chard. Okay, I put here, I left this up. I had put this up last year for cucumbers, I think. Didn't do well for cucumbers, and then this bed got completely taken over with marigolds, and then it got taken over by weeds, and anyways, I'm just gonna leave this up. It's not the sturdiest contraption, but I think it'll be fine. I put some more rows of sugar snap peas. I just did that a couple days ago, so I'm not seeing anything come up, but I do see lots and lots of marigolds. Volunteer marigolds, which that's fine. Over here, there's also more marigolds, but I put something else here. These might be radishes, they might be kale. Actually, they have red stems, so they might be radishes. They look pretty similar when they're just seedlings. And then here's the kale. This whole end of the bed was weeded over, and I pulled all that out and I dug it up. You can see even more. Creeping Charlie and the dead nettle. It's just had to taken over this bed. But I found this amongst it, and I was so excited because it looks awesome, especially for this time of year. But it's going to seed, so I'll probably just let it go and throw seed all over here. That's fine. This is that red Russian kale. And I've recently seen a white Russian kale, which I was kind of curious to get that seed. My husband really likes the Big Lebowski, and he drinks White Russians in that movie, so I might get some white Russian kale. I don't know how it's different than the red Russian kale other than just the color, but right here is a fake snake. I had these in my raspberries last year to keep the birds away, and they've just kind of like hung out in the garden all winter, and I have come across like 3 of them, and every time they scare me. And then yesterday, was it over the weekend, my husband found a real snake. It was injured. I don't know if a bird got it or if it got hit with the lawnmower, but it was a dead, injured snake in our yard. So that really put the fear of snakes in my heart, because I'm always like, oh, it's just a fake snake. But knowing that there's actually was a real snake in our yard. It was just a little garden snake. But anyway, this bed, the back end of this, I wanted to do all asparagus, and I had kind of thought it wasn't going to do well because I hadn't seen anything. My husband has some asparagus too, and his was coming up. He actually had a really big one. He's had one plant that gives him like 1 asparagus spear every year, and he just kind of has that one and doesn't really do much to encourage more. I mean, we would love to have more, but he's not doing anything actively to get more. So I put a bunch of crowns in this bed, and I wouldn't mind giving up this entire bed for asparagus and have this just be a perennial bed. I do have garlic on that end, and we'll try to like establish the asparagus on this end and then eventually take it over. But I wasn't seeing anything. I was getting discouraged, but I have seen, and I'm seeing more now, some little tiny asparagus. So there's one there. This one's a little bit bigger. This one is gonna just frond out, and you just let them go, especially the first couple of years while they're getting established. This was the biggest one here. It's very thin and very small, but it was the biggest one. But I'm now seeing this one, and it's looking very white, so I don't know if this was covered up. I have this pile of weeds that I have to take over to our junk pile. So I don't know if it was covered and that's why it's blanched, or what exactly is going on with all these pale vegetables, but I think that's all I'm seeing now. So that's a lot more than I was seeing earlier. It's very encouraging. There's quite a bit of volunteer dill coming up, and then I put lettuce. I think I just have these 2 little spots of garlic, so not so great for the garlic this year, but I put all lettuce here and all lettuce here, because that's they grow so shallowly that I don't have to worry about disturbing anything when I pull it out. And those are some onions here. Here's the bed I've been working on. It still looks like not great. Here's the apple tree. It does look good. I need to spray it for what's it called? Cedar rust. But it's blooming, and the leaves actually look great. They tend to get spots and look terrible soon this time of year, so I do want to treat it. More bags of mulch. Here's my blueberry. Lots of new leaves coming to life. That's encouraging. We've had blueberries maybe 3 times before, and they like die before they even make it through a winter. So this one, I got it. It made it through the winter, and it's looking good. So this was the biggest one we've ever gotten. I've always gotten smaller ones, trying to save money, but probably should have just gotten a bigger one from the beginning. Got cardboard here I'm trying to lay down. I have also these canvas sheets. This actually was tablecloths from my wedding, and we use them here in the garden. But what I do is the plants will grow, like the weeds will grow, and what I do is I just lift this when I'm ready. I lift this, it detaches all of the roots from the weeds, and then I lay it back down and lay fresh mulch. There's a bee over there. I don't know if you can see it. But this canvas has lasted a few years now. This over here is actually a bed sheet, and I do the same thing. It will eventually break down because it's just 100% cotton, but I had it. I don't have weed block, so I used what I had, and it's also doing really well because I don't think I could pull up the weed block. I think it would just tear if I tried to pull it up. Oh yeah, the bees are really coming out. It's warmed up in the last hour or so, and since I last looked at the bees, and they're really active, so that's good. They were not so active yesterday, and we're new bee parents, so we were worried about them, but it's good to see them buzzing around. I'll show you them in a minute. This is raspberries. I did end up cutting it way back because nothing ever seemed to be coming up. I got all of these shoots coming up out of the ground, and they look lush and beautiful and vibrant, and then this wood that was here from last year's growth was doing nothing. So anyway, I cut it way back. I'm gonna cover all of this with that canvas because I just want it to come up in a controlled area, otherwise it'll take over. You can see it's all everywhere. And there's also hops over there, so I'm trying to relatively keep the hops and the raspberry separate because they're both very brambly and just go everywhere. So I don't want them to get together because then I don't know, the world will explode. I don't know, something bad will happen. Still have this amount of weeds to take out, and it's just I have to have time to do it. I'm not looking forward to it because these are actually growing up. They're getting they have little thorns. They're not like giant thorns like rose thorns, but they are a little prickly. But yeah, I'm gonna use some of that compost. I have some more canvas to lay down here. So this is mostly just weeds right now. The hops have grown like mad. I'm really trying not to show you the bees because it's like the grand reveal. They're so exciting. The hops are growing like mad. You can see they're starting to try to go up the trellis here, or whatever this twine. My husband also put up a trellis here for mostly to direct the bees away from neighbors, just to be friendly to our neighbors, but also he's going to try to grow hops up there. So yeah, I don't know if he's moving. He moved some. I know he's moved some, but I think he's also keeping some here. I just hope it's not too tight over here. He's trying to work on the bees. All right, I'll show you the bees. They are looking happy. Yes, yes, yes. These were, oh yes. I don't know if you can see. Watch the bees as they're going in. Look at their back legs, and if you see bright yellow or orange, that's pollen. See that one that's just going in? Has pollen on his back legs, pollen baskets. So everything's blooming. We are definitely in spring right now, so they're loving it. We're feeding them sugar water right now, but I think they have lots of foraging they can be doing. So I'm just gonna film a little bit of here, and I'll try to, oh, that one had huge pollen baskets. I'll try to put some annotations on the screen to show you what I'm talking about. This is the hive that was a little bit more lethargic, but it looks so happy right now. And this one over here, there's some bees on the ground I do not want to step on. I think they're trying to drink some water because there's some rainwater down there. This one was the one that was a little more active, and it's a little slower, but it's definitely looking good. We have not opened these hives yet since we installed them. It's been 5 days. Oh, that one had bright yellow pollen baskets. Or a bright orange. There's some yellow pollen baskets. Oh, they look so good. I'm so happy. Oh, one just landed on my face. All right. Not yet been stung, and I'm trying to keep it that way. Let's go over here. All right. My husband put straw down for the strawberries, and I think he weeded in here too. Oh yeah, it looks really good. It looks like he pulled up quite a bit of strawberries, but these things come back like gangbusters. And yes, my hairdresser, I had given her some of these a few years ago from these same plants, and she said hers were blooming, and I was surprised to hear that, but looks like ours are blooming as well. Blooms on this back here, and there's some blooms under the straw back there. These aluminum pans, my husband puts beer in them to keep the slugs at bay, so that's what that is. It's not just trash. Well, it is trash, but you know what I'm saying. Here's the hops. It's been, or not the hops, the fig. It's been undressed, but no growth yet. A little bit later in the year. My husband tilled here. I'm pretty sure he put radishes here, but that was just like 2 days ago, so not seeing anything here yet. Oh, he's got another asparagus. We had one. It was even bigger than this one, and they're so good. We just ate it raw because it's so good. There's another one. I don't know if he wants to keep his separate or if we'll eventually put them all together, but we planted this one from seed, and this has been 6-7 years. No, more than, because it was before I even had my daughter. It's maybe like 7 or 8 years since he planted those from seed, and it literally gives him 1 or 2 a year, but they're delicious. All right, I think that's it. I'll give you a kind of an overview of the whole garden. Out front's not doing so much. It's just coming along. My herbs are, I cut the rosemary back because it was looking bad. I cut my sage back. I might insert just a couple shots of that, and I'll show you over here the mint bed. It's just a mess. It's just not my favorite place in the garden, and we had a lot of wind, so some pops have fallen in here. But there's onion grass in here, there's creeping Charlie in here, and I don't even bother weeding it because the spearmint will just take over. Peppermint's looking good, lots of growth here. I love the peppermint. And then I'll show you over here there's another fig here. The lilacs are in bloom. Surprised there's not a bunch of bees over here. And then here's the horseradish. I did top dress with some compost. Horseradish is looking nice. Looks like some seed heads are coming here. I'll have to look and see if I need to prune those back or not. But this is horseradish, and then here's the green rhubarb. Alright, I think that's going to do it for this video. I will see you guys next time. Questions, comments, welcome in the comment section down below. If you do garden videos, link it down below, because people who watch mine probably like to watch yours as well, and I know I would like to watch it. Alright, talk to you guys later. Bye!